If you look at a living thing like a plant, if you plant a seed in the ground, what is happening? That seed has got some information, and that information starts to organise the things around it. It starts to bring in the water, bring in the minerals, and organise those things into a sort of tower. You can imagine like a tower, and that tower becomes a tree. So information, i.e. the information of what to build, i.e. a tree, is in there somewhere, but there's some energy that brings that information into manifestation. And that energy is chi, a mysterious force. Organise ourselves into a good alignment, that is going to help us get the chi, the organisational force. Hi there, and welcome to Body Efficiency Training. And this training is based on body dynamics and chi, the life force energy. And if we could become more efficient, we would gain more chi, we would gain more access to chi, and we would have more energy available to us to live a more enjoyable life with less effort. And that is the ultimate goal, to increase our enjoyment, our productivity, our satisfaction in life, and reduce the workload, reduce the effort, and reduce the stress. So we could all benefit from this. And I've spent most of my life in various forms of training, both physical, mental, and spiritual training. And I have 40 years of martial arts teaching and training. And now I also have a degree in physics, and I nearly did a PhD in theoretical physics, but didn't quite make it. So I have a serious scientific mind. And with all these things, I've been trying to work out the first principles. I'm trying to understand how chi works and how do we get it. In this video, we're going to go through an experiential practice. We're going to go through an exercise in order to experience the chi for ourselves. And this is the most important thing to understand. We have to feel this. Now, we all know that we're surrounded by energy. Everyone knows that now. There's a field of energy around us all. But how come we don't feel it? How come we're not aware of it? We should be able to feel this energy. We should be able to tune into it and get some. How do we do that? And why is it some people seem to be able to do that and others don't? If the energy is everywhere, and if we ourselves are made of energy, why are we not experiencing energy? Why are we getting tired? What is tiredness? If we are made of energy, what is tiredness? And that's another discussion we'll have in a later video. But chi, the life force energy, is a very mysterious force. It is a force, well, the way I see it, it is a force that is pre-manifest. Or rather, it is a force that brings the unmanifest into manifestation. There's an intermediate force, or a force that brings information into organisation. If you look at a living thing like a plant, if you plant a seed in the ground, what is happening? That seed has got some information, and that information starts to organise the things around it. It starts to bring in the water, bring in the minerals, and organise those things into a sort of tower. You can imagine like a tower, and that tower becomes a tree. So information, i.e. the information of what to build, i.e. a tree, is in there somewhere, but there's some energy that brings that information into manifestation. And that energy is chi, a mysterious force. And it's mysterious because it's not yet physical, so we cannot detect it directly. And so science as we know it now has sort of dismissed this force altogether. But you can't dismiss it. You can't dismiss it because you cannot dismiss the non-physical. Even the most hardened materialist, and most scientists now are materialists, they're looking for particles, and a particle is so-called matter, material. So if you can't see a particle, it doesn't exist, it must be material. But their whole science is based on mathematics. What is mathematics? Mathematics is not physical. You can write down mathematics, but mathematics, the process of logic, is not a physical thing. So the entire science is built upon mathematics, which is not a physical thing. So they have to acknowledge there are non-physical things in this universe. Mathematics is one of them. You could argue further that mathematics can only exist if there is awareness or consciousness to think about it. And this goes to another philosophical argument, the cosmological anthropic principle. Some of you may have heard of that. But that theory or that philosophy goes that the universe cannot exist if we are not here to see it or experience it. If mathematics exists, there must be consciousness there to think it. So therefore consciousness must exist. And chi will have an aspect of consciousness to it. In other words, it must have information in there. If the chi is going to organize something, manifest something, it must know what it is going to organize and how it is going to do it. It must have a plan. It must have a design. And this is the process of growth. The way things grow is the process by which manifestation takes place. And this is governed by chi, the mysterious life force energy. We need to go into a lot of discussion about this, and we're going to go deeper and deeper into this over time. But in one of my previous videos, I did a talk on chi. I'll put the link below so you can see a bit more about chi there. But in this video, I want to concentrate on the experiential side of it. I want us to try and feel this. If you think of chi as the intermediate force between information and manifestation, it has two aspects to it. It has information, which is non-physical, but it also must move things in the manifest world. It must create things, it must grow. So it will have a physical aspect to it, a manifested aspect to it. So therefore, not only is it thinking, but it is feeling. You must feel what is here, i.e. my body is here, it is a physical manifestation, and I must feel this, I must embody it. And this is one of the secrets of gaining the chi. You must engage all the aspects of your being, mind, body and spirit, into one. In other words, I've got to bring my awareness, my consciousness into my body. I must unify the two. See, my thoughts, my awareness are not just in my head, my brain, they're in every cell of the body. And I need to feel this. So I've got to feel, I've got to occupy right to the tip of my finger, right to the tip of my toes. I've got to bring my awareness deep into my body. And the deeper the awareness in the body goes, the greater the feeling of chi. And you want to get it very deep, right into the bones, deep inside the bones. And the bones are crystalline in structure. They're a sort of organic crystal. And inside it's more porous, more hollow, where the bone marrow is. So deep in the bones, you can think of them as hollow tubes with fluid inside. And you want to feel the chi right deep into the bones. So how do we get there? How do we start? So we need to start by feeling. Again, I've been saying that chi is mysterious, and we're all wondering, we might be wondering, how do we get this? What is this mysterious force? But we are all experiencing chi all the time. The experience of our five senses is an experience of chi. The experience of touch. When I touch something, I am feeling chi. I am feeling the manifestation of something. So touch itself is an experience of chi, and we're trying to get that experience of touch to go inwards, inside our body, and feel inside. Now it's the same with the other senses, smell, sight, sound, all of them, but we'll talk more about them in time. And chi is also in the emotions, or rather chi is the emotive force. When we experience emotions, we are experiencing chi. And when we experience a particular emotion, like anger or hatred or love, you are experiencing a sort of polarized chi, a particular form of chi. But ultimately, chi is an experience of emotion. And we want to combine all our emotional energy together into a single powerful sort of emotion. And that is chi. So we are experiencing it all the time. We're just not fully aware of it. The key is to become aware of it. To become aware of what's going on inside us. What's going on inside our mind and what's going on inside our body. This is the key. We have to do that. And if we can do that, then we can start to improve the alignment of our body and the alignment of our mind. This is how we gain the chi. If we think about chi as an organizational force, in other words, it takes information and uses that information to organize things into growth, and we ourselves are alive, and that this life force, this chi, is continually reordering ourselves. We're organizing ourselves over and over, regrowing ourselves. So if chi is organizing, then how do we assist that organizational force? Well, we must organize ourselves. In other words, by going into the better alignment, I am organizing my bones and my structure into a more efficient position. And that is exactly what chi is trying to do for us. Or if we could gain more chi, we would be more efficient, we would be more organized. There would be more order, more harmony in our body, more balance. See, balance and harmony are order. That is the order we require. And that is organisation, and that comes from chi, the organisational force. So the first thing we must do to feel the chi is try and feel inside ourselves, and then try and increase our order. In other words, improve our alignment. But let's start with something ever so simple. Let's just start by trying to feel the chi from the sensation of touch. So take your two hands, just open your fingers lightly, and just touch together. Just feel the touch of your hands touching. So you can feel that. Then bring them closer and closer. Just keep touching. Concentrate on your hands, your fingertips. Just trying to feel that sense of touch. Now take your hands very slightly apart. They're very close, but don't touch. Just move them closer and further apart. And you might start feeling a tingling. See, my hands are starting to tremble a little bit. It's also a bit cold in here. But you might start feeling a warmth or a tingling in your fingers. See, it's as if you're still touching, but you're not touching, but you are touching. There is a magnetic field around you, and that field projects, and you are still touching that magnetic field. And then take them a bit further apart, and see if you can still feel a tingling in your fingers, or a little pressure between your hands, or a force between them, and a bit further. So you just relax your mind and see what you feel. You're trying to feel inside your hands, and you're trying to feel the space between your hands. Relax your mind. In other words, don't try too hard. You're just feeling. You've got to feel and not think. Alright, good. And then relax, just wiggle your fingers, create a fist, expand and release your hands, and then shake out. Alright, good. So, next we're going to take that a little bit further. So what we were trying to do there is just gain awareness of our sense of touch and project our sense of touch outside the area of our skin into our aura. And our aura is a real thing. We have an electromagnetic field, well, a magnetic field around us, and the heart is the sort of core of that magnetic field. And you can measure the magnetic field up to about 6 feet is average for the heart's magnetic field. So this is a real thing, this is a real force, and we should be able to feel this. And we should be able to control this and harness this. Alright, now let's take this little exercise a bit further. I want you to sit upright in the chair. So just make sure you stick your bottom backwards a little bit, so you're sitting on your sit bones. You've got a nice arch in your lumbar, not too much. Then you pull your stomach in, lift the rib cage up and expand it a little bit, so your sternum is pointing upwards. Now, hold your hands just up in front of your chest, your shoulders, not too far away. Lift your shoulders up, pull them back a little bit. Expand the rib cage. Now open your fingers wide. Just for a second, balance your head, so your head is relaxed. Keep the tongue touching the roof of your mouth. We'll talk about that later. Now just concentrate again on your fingers. Lean a little bit back, but pull your stomach in. So you want to feel a nice stretch in the spine. And you feel that stretch come out of your shoulders, through your arms to your fingers. And I'm wiggling my fingers. You just start wiggling your fingers, stretching your fingers, relaxing them and moving them slightly, until you can feel a little tingling in your fingers. Now once you can feel that, try to keep your spine as it is, but let the arms relax, the hands come a bit closer. Take a couple of deep breaths, try and feel a nice stretch in the spine, right up to the head. Now bring your hands closer together and just move them in and out like you're holding a ball. So this is very common practice in Qi training. You're building a ball of energy. And you're just trying to feel something between your hands or a tingling in your fingers, an awareness in your arms and your fingers. Good. And then from there, just relax. Let your hands go down. Twist your spine left and right a little bit. Release out your spine. Take a deep breath in, look up, stretch up, and relax. Look down. And then sit back in your chair again. Now as you sit back and continue listening to me, just relax and see how you feel. See how you feel inside your body. It's not just your hands. The exercise is to bring your awareness inwards and observe. Observe what you feel. And this is one of the most important things to do in relieving stress. Stress is we're caught up a lot in thinking. So you've got to try to stop thinking and feel. Bring your awareness down and feel inside. Let the thoughts go. Bring into the feeling. And then once you feel the feeling, you'll feel the tension. And then you slowly got to relax the tension. You've got to let go of the tension. And that is done through feeling and bringing your awareness inwards. So this training has 3 parts to it. One is alignment. In other words, we're increasing our order. And if we increase our order, that is assisting the chi, which is the organizational force, the force that brings order. And you could also say that if I could collect chi, and this is one of the ways I used to learn, is build up the chi, and then I'd find the chi, would move my body into the correct position. In other words, the chi would organize me into a better structure. And that is one of the ways you can improve your structure, by allowing the chi itself to improve your structure. And then the second is tension, because if we have the right structure, you need to hold it, and you have to hold it with the right tension. And we have to learn about that and how to activate this tension. And then finally, relaxation. You also need to know how to relax. And that's easier said than done. But the relaxation will allow the flow of chi to happen. The tension tends to hold the chi stationary. Relaxation tends to allow it to flow. But it's not always the case. The correct tension still allows the chi to flow, which is the dynamic tendon isometrics that I call it. The tension must be in the joints more than the muscles, and we'll talk more about that in time. The chi itself is an unmanifest force, but the first manifestation of the chi is the electromagnetic force. So now this is a detectable force that we can detect physically. It has a direct physical effect. This is the force that we're trying to tune into in our body. We want to feel and we want to collect it from around us. We're surrounded by this electromagnetic force. And we can harness that, we can harvest it, we can draw it inwards and charge our battery. So how do we do that? Well, if we think that electromagnetic force or electricity is passing through us, so we're like an electric circuit, all we have to do is connect that circuit to the ground and to the sky or to the heaven above, because there is a voltage difference between the ground and the sky. If we put a wire between a voltage, we're going to get a current going through. So we open our structure, we align our structure, and then we connect to the ground and to the sky or the cosmos above us. And then we allow the current to come into our body and pass through us. And as it does so, it charges us up. When we align our body correctly, it is as if we are piecing ourselves together into a single wire. Or you think of this as my bones. My bones are an electrical conductor, but there's a gap at each joint. So that the conductor can go through here and then it stops, and then I can conduct through here and then it stops, and I can conduct through here and it stops. But I want to get the conduction to go, I want to get the conductivity to be even, going all the way through. So I need to activate my joints so that I'm applying tension in the joints, and that is assisting the conductivity of the bone structure. So now, this is without, so I don't have full conductivity. Now I have conductivity between my arm. So you can think of it as separate pieces. I must plug everything together so that the electric current will pass through. And if I can plug all the bones in my body together, then I must plug them into the ground and plug them into the sky, and then the electric current will pass through me. And this is how we collect chi. And now we're going to turn over to the follow-along session. I'm doing a one-to-one session, and this exercise we can all practice. It's very safe, but nevertheless do it very carefully, very slowly. Must never be any pain. If you ever feel any pain, you must stop and start again, or calm down, readjust. If you have the correct alignment, there will be no pain. It will feel nice. It will feel good. It will feel right. And this exercise, if you're interested in chi, you can repeat over and over and over on a daily basis, and you'll start to feel the chi more and more. So without further ado, let's go and do the follow-along practice. So first of all, that's it. We'll just get into our body, shake up the arms and legs. Very good. A little roll of the shoulders. So you're opening up the rib cage. Good. And then just a little interlock behind your head. Open up the ribs, pull the elbows back, pull the stomach in. And now with your obliques, twist left and right. So you pull the obliques. Good. And then pressure off down once more. And then just loosen up with a twist. Yeah, so you're trying to find the spine alignment now. So you're trying to find a nice pivot down the spine. This is the line we want. And we're trying to feel this line. All right. So now, without too much explanation, okay, keep twisting, keep twisting. What we're trying to do is feel a straight line down our spine through the S-curve. So we're not straightening the spine. There is an S-curve that goes in front and behind this line. Crown of the head down to the sacrum. Feel the hips moving. Feel the rib cage moving. You're leaning back. It feels a bit like you're leaning back. Shoulders up a little bit. Loosen up the fingers. So now we're trying to get in touch with the chi. And the chi is really an organisational force. It's a force of growth that organises things. If you plant a seed in the ground, it organises the minerals and the water, and it stacks all those things together and builds a great big plant or a tree. So it organises the minerals into something. This is what chi is doing. So how do we get this chi, this force that organises us? Well, if we were to organise ourselves, that is going to help getting the chi to us. So the first thing we organise is our bones, our alignment. If we can organise our alignment, okay, let's get still now. We can organise ourselves into a good alignment. That is going to help us get the chi, the organisational force. So let's do that now. You start, knees slightly bent, toes pointing outwards. You bend the knees over the toes in the same direction. So that feels your hips are going to open a bit to the front. Okay, now you squeeze your glutes slightly. So that pushes your pelvis a bit forward and makes your knees go out. You feel that tension. Now to counteract that, you pull in the stomach. Use the TA muscle, pull in low down, and that closes the hips up again. Now you want an arch in the spine, so stick your bottom a tiny bit backwards. Keep pulling the stomach in. So now you can feel the lumbar arch coming on. Now from here, lift up the hands to in front of your shoulders. Very good. Now here, expand your rib cage, lift up your rib cage, but keep pulling the stomach in. Lift up the shoulders a bit and pull the ribs and the shoulders back. So you feel an expansion in your ribs here at the front, but keep pulling the stomach in. Sternum tilted slightly up, so you're leaning slightly back. But as you lean back, to stop yourself falling back, you've got to stick your bottom out a little bit. Good, now look up for a second, and then look down in front. So you're looking slightly up, but pull the chin in. Good, now from here, drop your hands down to your sides. So keep the expansion in the ribs, keep the stomach pulled in. Hands should hang in line with your hips or a little bit back. Very good. Now from here, just bend your elbows slightly so you pull your hands in front a tiny bit. Your hands come in front of your belly, just a tiny bit. But your ribs are up, you're still pulling back, leaning back. Good. Now breathe deeply into the back of the ribs. You feel the expansion in your rib cage at the back. Now allow yourself to move, don't be rigid, keep adjusting your structure as you breathe deep into the rib cage. Keep trying to feel inside your body. The chi is a feeling, so you have to feel. Try and feel your feet, you feel the knees, feel the hips twisted and counter twisted, feel the stomach pulled in, feel the ribs expand, shoulders up and back, feel the neck in the right place. Good, now from here, very carefully, you're going to twist left and right. Just a tiny bit. Try to feel the alignment, and you're pivoting on this line through your body. Still trying to breathe deeply into the back of the ribs, stomach pulled in. Breathing here in the back. Good, and take the pressure off, hands sink down. Straighten up the legs. Just wobble your shoulders, loosen up for a second. Keep your feet still where they are. Okay, now we're going to do the exercise which we're trying to breathe some chi. So first of all, just standing up still where we are, very little work, just hands at the side, knees ever so slightly bent, weight leaning back into the heels. Very good. Now I want you to feel your feet on the floor. Just try and feel your feet on the floor. And then try and feel the floor itself and feel down into the earth. Imagine you can project your feeling down into the earth beneath you. Good. And now from your head, lift up your shoulders and rib cage, look up for a second, and then pull your chin in. Feel your head stretching up. Now imagine that the line goes up your spine to the crown of your head, and that's pulling you up to the sky. And you can feel a force pulling your head up towards the sky, like you're a puppet on a string. So your spine is being stretched out. There's a force above you pulling you up, and then at your feet is the earth pulling you down. So you can feel the weight of the earth, the weight of your body pulling you down, but counteracting that, there's a string pulling you up to the heaven, the cosmos above you, the heavens above, the sky. Then start twisting left and right, very carefully, trying to feel that dynamic tension. The earth beneath you pulling you down, the sky above pulling you up. Again, left and right twisting, keep that feeling, breathe to the back of the ribs. Good, then come back to the middle. Now we're going to do 3 deep breaths. As you breathe in, your hands come up like this. Above your head, look up, you reach the sky, and then hands come down in front. And you sink a little bit lower, but keep your spine up and back, hands go down. And again, inhale, pull in the stomach, breathe to the back of the ribs. Stretch up, you're drawing the chi up to the sky. As your hands come down, you're bringing the chi down from the sky, through your body, into the earth. So deep down into the earth. So now you're drawing the chi up from the earth, up through your body, up through your head, up to your hands, into the sky. And then you're drawing the chi down from the sky as you exhale, through your body, all the way through your alignment, and into the ground, into the earth beneath you. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, suck in. Now also squeeze the pelvic floor, pull up the pelvic floor, suck in the stomach, lift up the rib cage, look up, stretch up. Exhale, sink down, keep the spine correct, stomach in, draw the chi down to the earth. And again, inhale, chi up from the earth, up to the sky. Exhale down, draw the chi down from the sky, through your body, into the earth. And then last one, nice good one. And exhale. And then bring your hands to your belly. So your thumbs are on your navel, your hands cross over just in front of your navel. And now do a little twisting left and right. Knees slightly bent, stomach still pulled in. Try and feel the tightness around your waist. So you're squeezing inwards towards your spine where your hands are. As you're twisting, try and feel the energy building up in your stomach here. You can think of it like a ball of energy or an energy spinning around in a horizontal plane as you twist left and right. You just try and feel warmth building up there. So you're collecting the energy here. Good, and then relax, bring your feet in, take your hands away, loosen up the fingers, loosen up the toes, and just bounce up and down, bouncing on the ankles. Feel the alignment, and release any tension. Good, and relax. All right.